Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Willow's Weather Briefing. Today is Monday, May 12th, 2025. Our main concerns for today and later on this week: thunderstorms and heavy rain from the southeast to mid-south regions, especially urban areas such as Miami. We are looking at a pretty significant flooding event today. Continuation of the influence from that upper level disturbance up here in the northwest, bringing some snow to the higher elevations and also some scattered showers and thunderstorms for the lower elevations. Continuation of the heat risk up here in the northern plains, well above average. We're going to smash some records today with areas such as Bismarck and Grand Forks. We also have a fire weather risk associated with this upper level low and low level cyclone here, bringing some high dry winds into the area. A depletion of the heat down here in the southwest will be a much needed relief from the record heat down there as well. Here's the drought monitor for today. The bolded lines here, demarcate regions of highest drought concern. Please see my episode on this date here if you want to learn more about this drought. Over here, looking at our surface map, we have a closed low continuing over the southeast. We've been looking at this for the past several days now, and finally it is going to start moving its way northeast up the eastern seaboard, but that will also bring heavy rain and flash flooding to much of the southeastern Atlantic coast, as well as a bit inland, such as North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. We also have the disturbance in the northwest, bringing some heavy snow to the higher elevations over here, but in the lower elevations, we are seeing scattered showers and rain and thunderstorms. We have a critical fire weather risk here in the northern plains associated with that surface cyclone bringing elevated dry winds associated with the heat, bringing elevated fire risk in these areas. Tomorrow, we have a continuation of that flash flooding threat, but moving northeastward towards areas such as eastern Virginia, up towards DC, and southern Pennsylvania. That upper level disturbance in the west will also move eastward, bringing some heavy snow to the higher elevations and also scattered showers and thunderstorms into much of the northwest. We also have a critical fire weather risk in southeastern Arizona and southwestern New Mexico, associated with elevated dry winds and very hot weather. On day 3, the upper level disturbance in the west will continue to move east, and pretty gloomy weather for much of the United States on Wednesday. Looking at our day 1 excessive rainfall outlook, we have a slight risk for much of the eastern seaboard in the southeastern regions. We have a moderate risk of excessive rainfall in the urban areas of Miami. This is associated with expected rainfall rates up to 2 inches per hour. So we're expecting 7+ inches of rain here in the Miami area. So make sure you are whether aware of any flash flood warnings and turn around, do not drown. So that slight risk is going to sort of be confined tomorrow in the areas such as northeastern North Carolina, eastern Virginia, up towards southern Pennsylvania. Around 2 inches of rain is expected tomorrow in the slight risk region. Looking at day 3, we have a marginal risk or double marginal risk associated with the continued moisture return and in the northern plains. Forgot to mention over here today, we actually have 3 to 5 inches of rainfall expected in the lee side of the Appalachians associated with the upslope flow we're getting. So if there is going to be a moderate risk later today, expect it to be in that upslope flow regime. Around 3 to 5 inches of rainfall are expected in areas such as the Blue Ridge, localized above 7 inches, at least by Wednesday. The areas such as the Virginia Piedmont, which is around over here, could receive as much as 2 to 4 inches today. All right, looking at our severe weather outlook, we have a marginal risk for much of the southeast today associated with that continued moisture return and elevated instability values. You also have a marginal risk up here in areas such as northeast Montana and far northwest North Dakota with that upper level disturbance that is currently making its way east from the west. This is associated with a wind and hail risk. No severe weather is expected tomorrow. For day 3, there's a marginal risk of severe weather in the northern plains. I expect that this is mainly going to be for hail and wind. And this is also caused by the same system that is going to influence our weather later this week on Thursday and Friday. We have a 15% chance or a slight risk of severe weather in the Midwest regions towards the Great Lakes and Ohio River Valley. Still uncertain regarding the exact areas of highest concern and the exact hazards we expect. But again, I think my suspicions were right these past few days. We are expecting primarily wind and hail, though areas with higher low-level shear or higher low-level helicity can possibly bring some tornadoes, especially earlier on in the risk time frame, because things may remain more discrete. And of course, a discrete storm mode is more conducive for hazards like tornadoes. And also, a more discrete storm mode is conducive for large hail. So I would be most concerned in this area for large hail and wind, since that is generally what the environment is sort of telling me personally. But again, it's day 4, so we don't have our good model runs just yet, so proceed with that advice with caution. On day 5, we have a stalling boundary in the Bootheel, Missouri, and vicinity, and that will cause enough lift for additional severe thunderstorms in those areas as well. So here's our heat risk map. Of course, the heat will continue in North Dakota here, such as Fargo, Grand Forks, Bismarck. Highs are approaching triple digits in this area, which is over 30 degrees above average, which is pretty crazy for this time of year. We expect records to be shattered all over this area today. Moving forward, our heat risk will continue in the northern plains, as well as start to build in areas such as Texas. We've been talking about this for quite a while. Midland, San Antonio, San Angelo, expect temperatures above 100 degrees. For an extended period of time here, we expect the heat to sort of deplete up here in the northern plains, but start to build in areas such as Texas with multiple days of above 100-degree heats. In general, the heat is supposed to just continue over much of the southern United States, but again, most concerning is the multiple days of 100+ degree heat here in Texas. Little relief to this heat will cause an excessive heat risk for a lot of southern Texas, as you can see here near Austin. A multiple days of above 100-degree heat, which is still about 15 degrees above average for even areas that really expect heat this time of year. Over here with our extended hazards, just summarizing a bit, we have the hazardous heat in the northern plains, hazardous heat in Texas, and also continuation of that excessive rainfall here in the southeastern United States, the Atlantic coast area up towards Washington, D.C. Looking at our models, here's our upper level pattern right now. We can see that upper level low slowly making its way east, and that western disturbance causing our snow showers in the higher elevations and scattered showers and thunderstorms elsewhere. Again, that low is going to start to merge into the broad flow regime up here and make its way up the eastern seaboard. At least the moisture advection regime will make its way upwards. This troughing in the west will continue to make its way westward, causing a surface response up here and causing our multiple days of possible severe weather. This flow regime will impinge on the Midwest area on Thursday, causing enough shear and instability to build into the Midwest to Great Lakes and Ohio Valley regions. This flow regime will migrate eastward, but enhanced flow aloft along with a boundary will cause enough lift and shear to possibly cause some training clustering storms here in the Missouri Bootheel vicinity. Later on, we are seeing some signals of an additional trough building in early next week, but again, this is starting to get a bit far out, and using one model run is pretty inappropriate at this range, but we will still monitor this upcoming active pattern. Looking at the surface precipitation type, again, as we've said before, multiple days, continuation of that moisture return in the southeast will bring moisture and rain thunderstorms into the southeastern Atlantic coast. That upper level disturbance will cause scattered showers in the lower elevations, heavy snow in the higher elevations, but also you can see that surface response is already underway by Wednesday. Look at that surface low in North Dakota now. And then we will see a continuation of the surface response, kind of elongated initially. And then into Thursday, we sort of have a dual low pressure response. But the one that we're kind of locked in on for the Midwest is this low pressure now in northern Minnesota, possibly causing enough surface response to cause forcing for ascent, enough moisture return, and instability for potential of severe weather in the Midwest to Ohio Valley regions. As you can see, by Friday, you kind of see there is a stalling boundary here, causing some clustered severe thunderstorms in the Missouri Bootheel vicinity around the Ohio River Valley as well. Our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, we have above average for much of the southeast, and not really having much relief in areas such as southern Texas, though there is upcoming temperature relief in areas such as the northern plains. Our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, much above average for most of the United States, with exceptions of areas such as southern Florida and central California. So that is going to be it for today. If you enjoyed today's briefing, please leave a like, and if you have any constructive criticism, please comment below. And also subscribe if you want to hear more weather briefings in the future. Of course, if you want any specific information for your area, please refer to your local broadcast or National Weather Service meteorologists. Thank you and have a great day.